All right. Hey, IDC family. Pastor Shane here. Wanted to take a few minutes and chat with Robert Johnston, who is on staff with the Raleigh Dream Center. If you haven't heard before, this is one of our ministry partners in the area, and Robert's a member of IDC, and just wanted to kind of check in with him, hear how things are going, and talk about what it might look like to support the ministry there. So, Robert, thanks for taking the time, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
For those who might not know, why don't you start by just telling us what Raleigh Dream Center does, kind of generally and like in normal times, and so orient us a little bit.
Yeah. So Dream Center was founded in 2014. There's a network of Dream Centers across the country, but Jeremy Porras founded the Dream Center here, Raleigh Dream Center, in 2014. And our main mission is we have, right now we've built relationships with communities across Raleigh. And we use those relationships in order to have just bi-weekly gatherings, the second and fourth Saturday of each month, to just invest in those communities. We offer free groceries. We have games for kids. We go around and knock on doors to engage the communities with the gospel. And so our main mission is to bring the gospel into different communities around Raleigh. And we want to be able to expand that and to add communities as we go. And we've got kids programs. Katie Miller, who's also a IDC member, she oversees our kids programs. So in a number of those communities, we've got after school programs that we do, all of which are for the purpose of getting to know communities so that we can bring the gospel there. But our kind of from the beginning, one of the main goals was to establish a residential program, a year-long discipleship program. So in addition to bringing the gospel to those communities, one of the goals is to build a relationship just as broadly as possible across Raleigh so that we can identify people who would benefit from such a program, so that by the time that we have a residential program up and running, that we've got this broad base of awareness and broad base of relationship across Raleigh, so that we can begin bringing people into that program and begin that year-long discipleship program with people.
Cool.
From human trafficking, who have experienced homelessness, just a vast array of different backgrounds that would really benefit from a residential program.
That's good. One of the things I've appreciated about Dream Center is desire to partner with local churches. Tell people like what has been, I guess, the philosophy and the principle there. How have churches been able to get involved with some of the ministry that you guys are kind of leading out in, but also in a way kind of like helping to facilitate? What's that look like?
Yeah. Something that makes the Raleigh Dream Center unique among other dream centers across the country is that we are not tied to a specific church. So we really, our focus is to partner with as many churches as possible in Raleigh and to give as many churches as possible an opportunity to reach their city. And so that partnership can be just as low as you've got one member who is participating in one event that we've got one time, or that can be as high as, like, for example, a church they have really, really taken ownership over the logistics and over the staffing and everything for one of our Adopt-A-Block locations. And so every Saturday they're out there serving that community. They have an incredible relationship with that community. And many of the members of that community now go to that church. And so from like personnel to logistics to funding, like there are churches that are, that are going all in with different communities. So yeah, it runs the gamut, but we have tons of church partners across Raleigh.
Very cool. Okay, so that's normal. You guys normally kind of the bread and butter, you're talking about the Adopt-A-Block and games and meeting people and all that kind of stuff. And then coronavirus hits where all of that stuff becomes like illegal, or maybe not.
Yeah.
So what has this done to kind of like, how does this reshape ministry? This whole like this time when we can't do so much. How do you kind of continue to try to minister to folks?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, I think first and foremost, we wanted to prioritize safety for volunteers and safety for communities. So we did think long and hard about how do we do this safely? How do we continue to serve our communities in a way that is for their benefit in a time when food insecurity is high, when job loss is high, but there is the present reality of we can't be introducing a threat of a virus into a community. So first and foremost, the main difference that we have implemented is just extreme caution. And so we are wearing gloves, we're wearing masks, we're keeping our social distance. We're trying to practice as many possible things to keep everyone safe. But at the same time, whereas you might think that would our ministry would kind of slow down and kind of come to a halt, we've actually pushed it way past what we were doing before. So whereas we previously were doing Adopt a Block every second and fourth Saturday of the month, we're now doing it every Saturday of the month. Okay. And whereas we were doing kids programs in 2 communities once a week, now instead of those kids programs, we were partnering with Wake County Public Schools to provide lunches every day of the week in 21 communities. And so we are out there, Monday through Saturday every week. And then we've got some food that's going out, not with our volunteers, but with another church on Sundays. So basically 7 days a week, Dream Center is doing something in the city. And so it is really kicked up to the next level of just frequency and the number of people that we're seeing. And it's been incredible just to see the number of people that we had not had contact with before, that we've been able to come across.
Yeah, very cool. And so the way that works is the county's providing the food and you guys are mainly the distributors. Is that what's going on there?
For Monday through Friday so we're doing student lunch distribution. So since kids are out of school, since they don't have access to free and reduced lunches, we are doing, the public school is providing lunches, and we are providing the volunteers to get those into kids' hands. Yeah. So we've got 21 sites that we're doing that across the city. We just hit a milestone. We just hit 100,000 meals delivered to kids, which is huge over, I think 5 weeks. Wow. And so tons of kids, tons of communities, tons of parents. We've just been able to come in contact with just lots and lots of people that we had not before. But then on Saturdays for Adopt a Block, all of that is being provided by food drives from churches, from food drives from individuals, just generous donations from people. And then we have a relationship with the food bank, so a lot of our food comes from there. But we spend, Katie Miller, who ordinarily spends her week loving on kids, now spends her week in our warehouse putting together boxes with volunteers. And so we put together pre-packaged, like pre-sorted boxes of groceries that we have on Saturdays. And we have just hit 1,500 given out of those.
So one of the things I know you guys try to prioritize and kind of couple with the kind of the social aspect of ministry of kind of, providing food, providing, lunches and even games and all that kind of stuff is I've been encouraged by the emphasis on proclamation and prayer and invitation. I mean, there's a lot of gospel sharing that you guys try to do and help facilitate. How does that with having to kind of keep distance, has that been like more of a challenge during this time, or have you guys found more opportunities to share the gospel or less, or just because of the kind of less contact? Like, what's that been like?
Yeah, I've been incredibly encouraged and surprised because I think there's been 2 common responses that I've seen to the times that we're in that have been really conducive to the gospel. So one response would be, I think that there are a lot of people that are very uneasy and are, for lack of a better term, considering their own mortality in a way that maybe they had not been confronted before. So I had a conversation with a man named James a couple weeks ago, and he was, while we were talking, he was just kind of visibly nervous. So I asked him, like, hey, what's on your mind? He was like, how long do you think this is all going to last? And so he was just very nervous and kind of upset, and it was a great opportunity to be able to just kind of speak the piece of the gospel into what he was experiencing. So we had a great gospel conversation. And then just yesterday, I think that on the other end of that spectrum, there are people who just feel cooped up and they just want a conversation, and they will take a conversation with anybody. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to just provide that relational hunger that people have, that a lot of people are missing out on right now, to be able to provide that, both with just friendship, but also to leverage that as an opportunity for the gospel. So yesterday I had a conversation with a woman named Pamela, and she came by to pick up lunch for her children. But then she just sat in her car and we talked for a good while, and she just kept saying over the conversation, it's just so good to talk to another person.
Right.
And so I think seeing people either just experiencing the weight of the virus, or people just having a relational hunger, both of those things have made Raleigh really fertile ground for sharing the gospel.
Man, praise God for that. Appreciate your faithfulness there, and even being a model. I think that's another fun thing that I've kind of been able to see about the Dream Center is some folks are going to be really, really, just by the Lord's gifting, really bold and forthright and being able to open their mouths and share the gospel. And you guys are kind of greasing the wheels to provide just kind of opportunities for that. And then other people they want to get there, but maybe they want a place to start. They need some help connecting and just want to be able to serve and be able to kind of find some natural ways to get into conversations. And there's real ways to do that, of just like, hey, here's some food, here's somebody to metaphorically kind of give you a hug, not actually because of
there's something to be said. I mean, like, we want to be incredibly clear that like the gospel is proclaimed, like the gospel is in words, and so we want to give people tools and give people the confidence to do that, but then there's also something to be said for promoting the gospel and just beautifying the gospel by modeling Christ's love, and so even for people who are still getting comfortable with sharing their faith, there is so much to be done, so much work that can be done just simply by serving and loving.
Yeah, that's so good, man. That's good. That's really helpful. Okay, for anybody who might be listening and haven't heard yet, what are some ways that people can get plugged in if they want to be able to serve during this time? Just tell us a couple of ways that they can find out more and find out ways to come alongside you guys and serve.
Totally. So, I mean, one non-obvious option is we are obviously needing support. So both with food, both financially. I think right now, just with the massive increase of work that we're doing and opportunities that we're doing, that comes with it, just need for more supporters. And so if you feel called to give, both either financially or with food, it is going to some great work right now. But then there are really three main outlets for personally getting involved in ministry. And so one would be in our warehouse, helping to package boxes, helping to sort all the donations that we're getting. And so that is available Monday through Friday. And we're doing that in the afternoons from 2 to 5. So that's one opportunity. Another is to help with the kids' lunches. So that's every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then on Saturdays, every Saturday, we're doing Adopt a Block. And so we're doing that from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I actually, as a personal note, I'm looking for people I put something on Hoop Board about this a couple of days ago, but I'm looking for people who can drive. And if you've got a pickup truck and you're able to lend your driving and your pickup truck to us, that would be great. And in fact, Logan Sims and now Rebecca Sims, they joined us last Saturday and then got married later that day. And they're both IDC members. So that was really, really cool.
Not your typical wedding day. Absolutely.
Not your typical wedding day. It was really, really cool. And it was awesome to have them there. But back to the three things. So the warehouse, lunch distribution, and Adopt a Block are really the three big ways for people to get involved. And if you go to our website, RaleighDreamCenter.org, there's at the top, there's a banner that says COVID-19 relief efforts. And all of those three options are listed there, and you can sign up. We, right now, because of the virus, we're kind of limiting our volunteer groups. So we need people to be signing up in order to kind of keep things accounted for. So those are really the three main ways for people to get involved. But right now, something that IDC is doing that's been great, and we've seen, I think now we're up to about 15 people who've signed up. But there is a form that Daniel Williams has created that is for IDC members to get involved with hopefully owning a specific lunch distribution site. A number of churches have done that, and that's been really great. And so we'd love to have IDC doing that for a community near the church. So there's a Google form that I think will be attached somewhere.
It's on IDC's kind of COVID page. You can link to it there.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. So that's another option as well. But again, our website, the COVID, it's RaleighDreamCenter.org/COVID-19. And we've got all of our options listed there, and we consistently are rolling out new dates. So just keep an eye on it, and new dates are being added every day.
Excellent. Well, man, thanks for the time, and thanks for telling us what the Lord's doing kind of in and through Raleigh Dream Center. Thank you for you guys' faithfulness, and for helping our folks serve. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Lord uses all that. And
Absolutely.
if this thing drags on indefinitely or for an extended period, we'll circle back around and kind of hear an update about how things are going.
For sure. And my email is robert@RaleighDreamCenter.org. And I'm always happy to help IDC people get involved, because pridefully I want IDC to be there. So yeah, let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.